Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. If you would like to support this channel, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. And now, let's start with the first story. It's called Reread the Manual. I used to work at Chipotle in 2016 during high school. I was about 4 months into working when another coworker was transferred from our store in California to our store in Pennsylvania. Immediately, I didn't care for her. She was rude, annoying, and snobby. But I was just there to save for college, so I minded my own business. One day she had clocked out while I still had some time on my shift. She went to grab some food to take before heading home. It should be noted our policy in Pennsylvania at the time was one free break meal and one 50% off meal per shift. She already got a free meal earlier, so I rang her up for 50%. When I asked for payment, she looked annoyed and proceeded to tell me this in the most condescending tone I have ever heard. "Honey, it's 2 free meals per shift, not 1. You need to go back and read your training sheets so you can learn this." Alright, fair enough. It was slow, so I had time. I told her to wait a second, and I went and got a copy of the training documents. I looked for the section outlining break details and pointed to it before asking her, "Is this what you are referring to?" It said something to the effect of, "Employees are entitled to 1 free break meal per shift per day and 1 50% off meal per day." She looked dumbfounded and embarrassed and then spouted something about the manual being outdated. Luckily, my manager was right behind me stocking the fridge and had enough of the convo as well. She turned around and said to both of us, "No, she's right and the manual is from this year. The policies are different in different states. I think you need to go back and read our training sheets, because clearly you didn't do it well enough the first time." I couldn't help but smirk inside as my coworker dug out payment for her food sheepishly. I didn't have a problem with her after that. The next story is called On Time. In my previous job, I always arrived about 10 to 15 minutes early to get settled in and get my computer up and running, get logged into all my mail and accounts, pull up all my tabs and whatnot. It took my computer about 10 minutes or so to boot up and get up to speed. One morning, I arrived at work about 5 minutes early, instead of my usual 10 minutes. I guess I scuttled up the stairs to make sure I was up and running by 8. That is to make sure I'm at the desk with my computer on at 7:55 at the latest. Not 10 minutes later, my boss's boss, not my direct supervisor, comes over and says he saw me jogging through the parking lot. He asked me in that underhanded confrontational way when one knows the answer already if I was late that morning. I explained to him what happened. He says, "Oh, okay, and that's that." I look at the clock. It's like 8:02. I think to myself, "Oh, so that's what kind of person you are. Got it. If you want me to arrive on time, I will." From then on, I go about my business, still arriving at the usual time, 7:50 or so. But instead of setting up, I just set my stuff down and, oh, what a nice morning outside. I think I might take a little walk around the office park for 10 minutes or so. Maybe I might go down to the lobby and get a cup of coffee or something. Maybe I might sit at my desk on my phone. After all, it's not technically business hours yet, right? Then, at exactly 8, I'll turn everything on and let my computer spend the next 10 minutes booting up and get logged in. I did the math. 2 minutes late would have cost the company 63 cents. I continued to work there for 6 more months before I got a better, salary job elsewhere, doing the same thing every morning. 10 minutes a day, 5 times a week, for 6 months. That's over $400. Not a lot of money really, but a lot more than 63 cents. The last story is called Don't Need to Talk to Her. Once upon a time, I used to work for a small chain of diners known for their golden arches. I got hired shortly after graduating high school and had worked there for almost a year when the general manager Laura announced to our crew that Ted had been promoted to assistant general manager. This made several people upset, because Ted would go on to use his new authority to exchange favors for raises. A few weeks after Ted's promotion, I woke up on a Saturday feeling 50 shades of terrible. But I got up and did my morning ritual before work. When I went into the bathroom to brush my teeth, I saw that my face and neck were physically green. But being 19 and terrified of disappointing management, I finished, got dressed and went to work. I punch in and head to the back to wash my hands, and Laura is the first to say hi. Morning. Baby, what is wrong with you? I don't know, ma'am. All I know is I feel terrible. Baby, why ain't you call me? I didn't want to let you down. Honey, you are sick. Laura pulled out her phone and called the nearest urgent care. Hello, I need to schedule your nearest appointment for one of my people. Thank you, ma'am. He'll be right over. Miss Laura, I cannot afford the doctor's visit right now. Don't you worry about that, honey. I'm gonna take care of it for you. After a thorough exam and some blood work, the doctor prescribed me a trio of antibiotics and 4 days bed rest. So I called my store to speak to Laura after leaving urgent care. The doctor gave me medicine and I'm supposed to take 4 days off. Okay baby, I'm gonna double that for you. And don't you worry, I'll make sure you get paid for all of it. A few hours later, I'm laying in bed, watching TV, and my phone rings. Hello? Yeah, where the heck are you? Is there a problem? You can say that. We are an hour into dinner, and you are nowhere to be seen. Did you talk to Laura? What the frick does she have to do with you not being here? Did you talk to Laura? I don't need to talk to Laura. Listen, if you are not on the clock within the hour, I suggest you start looking for other employment. So I did. Got dressed again, went to work just like Ted told me, and clocked in. And wouldn't you know it, Laura was the first person to see me. What are you doing here? I thought you were home resting. I was, but Ted called me and told me either I come in or I'm fired. Did you tell him to talk to me? Yes, and he said he didn't need to. Is that so? Ted, come back here please. I'm in the middle of getting my stuff mixed. What the frick is wrong with your face? You should have talked to Laura. Ted, he is going home and he's gonna be home for another 7 days. I don't wanna hear a word from you about this. Understand? Right. The day before I was supposed to go back to work, I got a call telling me I needed to report to Franchise HQ for a meeting with the owner, HR, and Ted. When I got there, I spoke to the franchise owner. They informed me that Laura was so enraged by Ted's statement that he didn't need to talk to her about my condition that she called HQ and told him everything. I was then subjected to the weakest apology ever delivered by a member of the human race. After what I gathered was a very serious conversation, Ted had agreed to transfer to the franchise's least profitable store, but not until he'd apologized to me for threatening my job. A few months after Ted's transfer, we were informed that the store folded due to our lack of positive leadership. Apparently, his new employees were less than thrilled to have a womanizer for a boss. Last I heard of Ted, he was a detailer for a local cab company. Laura, however, was promoted to regional manager for the way she looked after her employees. They figured she could teach that to other general managers. We are still good friends to this day. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and want to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.